Your car might break the speed limit. These ones break the law. We're talking about machines so fast, so powerful, and in some cases so dangerous, they've literally been banned, not just from streets, but from entire countries. Not for some petty reasons like emissions or for failing crash tests. The ones we're looking at, they got blacklisted because they go too fast, and the world just wasn't ready. And you better stick around, because one of these cars doesn't break speed limits. It bends the laws of physics. Let's head to the south of Europe, to the country that is known for making cars that go fast AF. You might think Italy, the land of Lambos and Ferraris, is chill about speed, but they had a real problem with the Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300+. And you might already suspect why that is. This car doesn't just flirt with 300 miles per hour. It smashed through it, 304 miles per hour to be exact. Once it hit that number, several countries refused to allow it on public roads unless it was electronically limited. Germany had no problem with it, but Italy, Switzerland, and a few others slapped down regulations that said, yeah, this isn't a car anymore, it's a missile. And just like that, your dreams of ripping through Italian roads or Swiss mountains at 300 miles per hour, banned. And the crazy part? The limiter can be disabled, but only under special conditions. That's how fast we're talking here. Bugatti literally made this thing to serve every single one of your devious intentions. Custom-built tires to survive the speed, the aero that was literally tweaked in a wind tunnel for hypersonic stability, and the driver literally had to be trained like a fighter pilot before the test run. But staying in Italy, there was a monster brewing in a factory that had to be contained at every step of the way. A machine so brutally fast that it shouldn't have just been banned, but considered a threat to every single road that's been paved in Italian soil. And there was one company that is known for making such beasts, and they knew all too well what they were doing. Enter the Ferrari FXXK. This monster was never road legal to begin with. Ferrari knew what they built. 986 horsepower, hybrid V12, no license plate, no street tires, no compromise. This isn't just a track weapon. It's only allowed to be driven at Ferrari-sanctioned events. In certain countries, owning it is allowed, but taking it home? Nope. It stays locked in Maranello unless Ferrari ships it to a racetrack near you. That's not a car. That's a lease on danger. And should it be released, rest assured, chaos would be inevitable. But speaking of chaos, you might not believe this, you may call me crazy, but there is a car that got banned for being too fast on dirt. Say hello to the Ford RS 200 Evolution. Back in the 80s, Group B rallying was the Wild West of motorsport. No limits, no rules, just boost and bravery. The RS 200 Evo was the peak of this madness. Over 600 horsepower, featherweight body, all-wheel drive. It could hit 60 miles per hour in 2 seconds, which was an insane benchmark for the 1980s. And as you can expect, with figures like these, it was only a matter of time before the darker benchmarks reflected that. This legend became Group B's downfall. Too many crashes, and, unfortunately, way too many deaths. So the FIA got rid of the class, and a bunch of countries banned Group B cars from any official racing. And just like that, the RS 200 Evo became a ghost, killed for being the Grim Reaper of Group B. And with it, many souls were taken. But going to the Middle East for a second, let's talk about a car so insane, even Dubai, known for its races in the desert, had to say no to. Yes, this car was banned in Dubai. Enter the Devel 16. If this name says nothing to you, buckle up, because you're in for one hell of a story. Dubai-based startup, quad-turbo 12.3-liter V16, claimed horsepower 5,000. You've heard that right. I didn't misspeak. 5,000. On paper, it hits 350 plus miles per hour. But here's the problem. That kind of power is unmanageable. There's no traction system on Earth that can safely deliver that to the pavement. So UAE regulators said, cool prototype. You will not be driving this in the city. And it didn't stop there. Several countries followed suit. Because once your engine is closer to a jet turbine than a car, it stops being a vehicle and starts being a hazard. And speaking of speed, I want to see just how fast we can reach 1,000 subscribers, which is why I need you to subscribe to this channel. But let's head to Europe, where even the Brits have created monstrosities, at times that leave you with more questions than answers. Let's talk about the TVR Sagaris, one of the most unhinged British cars ever built. 400 horsepower. Doesn't sound crazy today. But combine that with no traction control, no ABS, no airbags, no electronic nannies whatsoever. This was a driver's car, and that's exactly why it got banned from several markets. Canada, for example, didn't allow them in due to safety regulations. The US? Forget it. This thing wasn't crash tested. Because TVR literally didn't believe in that. You either mastered the cigaries, or it spun you into a ditch. But yeah, you've heard about countries banning single cars. But imagine this, a car so fast, the government didn't just ban it, they changed the law because of it. That's what happened with the Koenigsegg Agera RS. The Swedish aren't just known for cheap furniture and delicious balls of meat. They are also known for making the fastest car in existence today. But we're not talking about the Jesko right now. We're talking about the Agera RS. This Swedish beast hit 277.9 miles per hour, officially making it the world's fastest production car for a while. But here's where it gets wild. After Koenigsegg did their record run in Nevada, other countries like France and Switzerland freaked out about similar stunts being done on their public roads. Laws were rewritten to prevent non-certified speed testing on highways. Some road agencies went further and banned ultra-high-performance hypercars, unless their top speed was electronically limited. The Agera RS pushed the limit so hard, they pushed the law right behind it. But if you're a fan of the channel, you've heard of this car before. And the most insane part is, it didn't get banned for how fast it actually went. It got banned for how fast it looks. Say hello to the Dodge Challenger SRT Demon. With 840 horsepower and a 0 to 60-inch 2.3 seconds, this thing was barely street legal in the US. But Canada straight up said no. Why? Because the Demon was sold with no rear seats, no front passenger seat, unless optioned, and ran on drag radials from the factory. The Canadian government treated it as a track-only car, which is hilarious because Dodge marketed it as a street-legal dragster. In some parts of Europe, insurance companies wouldn't even touch it. You could own one, you just couldn't register or insure it. So yeah, cars once again being banned by bureaucracy. But let's flip it. Yeah, cars have been banned for going too fast. This is nothing new. But what if I told you there was one car that was banned not for going too fast, but because it couldn't slow down? That's what happened with the RUF CTR Yellowbird. Back in 1987, this tuned Porsche 911 was faster than anything else on the road, 213 miles per hour, no electronic aids, and terrifying to handle at the limit. Several countries, including Japan and Australia, issued restrictions on the Yellowbird, not because it didn't stop well enough, but because it brake faded under stress at high speed. This wasn't a casual sports car, it was a monster in disguise. And the fact that it looked like a regular 911 made it even more dangerous in the wrong hands. Now you know, we couldn't make this list without a little Tesla controversy. Yes, I know, even Teslas can't escape getting throttled by laws. This is the story of the Tesla Model S Plaid. 1,020 horsepower, 0 to 60-inch, 1.99 seconds. But in Germany, Tesla caught heat from the TÜV, their inspection agency, because their performance updates were over the air. That means a car could go from being legal to illegal with a software update. Although that's hilarious to me, that wasn't so funny for regulators. In fact, they hated it. As a result, some regions pushed back on Plaid performance updates until new inspections were done. Some even paused registrations for new buyers until Tesla could certify each update. That's right, the car was too smart and too fast for the system. But there was a time America tried to counter the fastest cars in the world. But it got so crazy that everyone rushed to hide, regulate, ban, and outlaw it before anyone could even get a taste of it. This is the story of how a brilliant vehicle got shut down. This is the Hennessey Venom F5, claimed top speed 311 miles per hour. It's meant to be America's answer to Bugatti and Koenigsegg. But here's the catch. To hit those speeds, the car needs custom tires, custom fuel, and a test track longer than most airports. Because of that, several countries, including Australia and Norway, preemptively banned road use of the F5 unless it was limited or adapted. In some regions, it's only allowed with temporary exhibition plates. Translation, you can look at it, but good luck actually driving it. And now, the one you've been waiting for. The car that redefined what too fast actually means. Yes, the car we teased from the beginning. The car that bends, reshapes, and breaks the laws of physics. This is the McLaren Speedtail. 1,064 horsepower, 250 miles per hour, 3 seats, center driving position like the legendary F1. Sounds amazing, right? Here's the problem. It doesn't have side mirrors. Instead, it uses cameras, which are cool, but in the US, they're not legal. McLaren knew this, so they sold the Speedtail in America under a show and display exemption, which means you can import it, but only drive it 2,500 miles per year. And even then, only with special registration. Other countries followed suit, banning or restricting it because of those missing mirrors. So yeah, This car is literally too fast and too futuristic for the law to keep up. And sometimes it's very difficult to keep up with what the law bans and unbans and on what you can and can't import. This is such a common issue. I even made a full video on 10 classic cars that have been banned from being imported in the US. Click that video on screen to find out more. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.